Okay. I
I'm
know
scared I'm gonna be late.
I have my coffee for the day.
You sponsored for that?
Oh, I was gonna make a joke, but I don't want anyone getting it twisted. Welcome to Women in Entrepreneurship, everyone. I'm Barb, joined by my good pal Nina Brennan, and we have some very timely and valuable topics to talk about for today. So Nina, why don't you introduce those and we can jump right in?
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys don't know, Barb is going to be revealing some secrets tomorrow. I won't talk about it. I'll let you talk about it. But we really do want to talk about what it takes to truly bring an offer to market, how much back work goes into it, and what the streamlined process truly is. I also wanted to bring to surface and talk about what you should do mentally prepare in order to bring this offer to market. So, Barb, I'll let you take the mic first and talk about what you're doing over the next few months with your business.
Sure.
If it's an open topic.
It's open-ish. I do want to, well, let's just say that I have been working on something for a while that's very near and dear to my heart. It's related to personal branding, and it's going to be very valuable. And I'm very excited about it. And that's all I'm going to say just for right now, because that's all I'm going to say. But stay tuned for be here hanging out in the Facebook group tomorrow, maybe around 11 Pacific. And that's where I'll leave it. But what was the original question? Bringing
We'll do this let's bring it back to August, right?
Okay. That's where I was going to start too.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little bit storytelling here on Women in Entrepreneurship. Barb and I met back in July, August. We weren't too acquainted yet, but we've been on an ongoing journey of running and building businesses basically side by side. That's what I'm going to say. And when it comes to launching a coaching offer online, a lot of people get it backwards. A lot of people are like, oh, I just want passive income. I want to build a course at the end of the day, but they don't go about it properly. And that's why most coaches, consultants, online service providers really fail in business, because they launch an offer, they launch a course, and they expect people to just know everything that they're doing online because they posted about it a couple of times, but they don't really know what it takes to actually streamline a launch. So let's bring it back to August when Barb and I first met. We were both running to launch our businesses, and we didn't know we were bringing to surface what the proper strategy truly is. So where were you in August, July, August? And what was the first process for yourself to bring your first iteration of your coaching offer to market?
Oh man. So I just had this memory, but do you remember how initially I was like, I wanted to bring a digital product to market. That was very much what you're describing. And because I knew I had knowledge and skills and value beyond, simply promoting other businesses' products, my kind of repertoire had evolved. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to create a digital product. I thought that was just like the thing you did. And it's funny because I remember, I think it was in the second week of working together that I had this epiphany, one of many, along the way, but that coaching was what I wanted to do. That was something that's always been near and dear to my heart. And so I wanted to launch my own coaching offer. I had, some hangups about in some internal self-limiting beliefs and fears about doing that. But I realized that that's where I kind of wanted to go as the next step, which is convenient because that's the smart thing to do versus going straight into launching a digital product that you have, no knowledge if people are going to receive it or going to be open to it. But yeah, so that's kind of what my thought process was. And I'm sorry, I'm highly caffeinated. What was the original question that you had asked?
No, what was the first step that you had to take in order to start working towards launching a digital product? And
yes.
That first launch of coaching.
Yes. So that was the first step. Well, having that realization. Number two was figuring out what people needed, what my market wanted, and I had a pretty good sized Facebook group at that point, and I was able to get a lot of feedback and information from people based on the amount of content that I already had out there. I had a free course. I had just like a very highly engaged Facebook group, just like I do now. And so I was able to get a lot of feedback and a lot of direct information from the people in my group, the people in my audience, about the problems and pain points they were having, what they, needed help with, what they needed additional help with, like what were the really big hangups that they were having with getting started with an affiliate marketing business. So I had a lot of direct access to people who could provide me with that information. So I was getting that directly from the horse's mouth. And when it came time to kind of craft my own offer, I fortunately had people who are smarter than me and more experienced than me telling me to, sell before you create, meaning kind of pitch the idea before you go through the entirety of creating like the whole back end of that offer and wasting your time only to find that people aren't interested in it. Do you know what I mean? So find out if there's a viable market that's willing to pay for what you are offering. And then build it as you go, or build it like as a secondary kind of task. But the primary one being make sure that your market is receptive to the offer and that they will actually pay for it.
Yeah. And it was so interesting when Brad and I started working together, and I know that you kind of knew this too, which is really cool, but bringing an offer to market and like sell before you create is people think about it, but they don't know what that means. So like even doing proper market research is something that like I really wanted to bring to the market personally while going into any business. When it comes to like crafting an offer, you have to understand like, one, who is your target market? And I feel like that's where a lot of people struggle with. It's just like they're trying to cast that wide range net and they're just catching anything that comes into their net rather than having a specific idea of what they want for dinner. I think like fishing analogies are like the best way, boating, fishing, all of that stuff. And then it's just like, all right, now that you have a fish, like who's your competitors in the market? I don't know a fishing reference I could really use there. But like know who your audience is, know who you're talking to, know competitors in your market, what they're doing to speak to the people that are responding to them, and how can you differentiate yourself? And you do an excellent job at this, Barb, like as like a personal brand coach, an affiliate marketing coach, just a basic all around business building coach online at this point, because you hit every aspect between mindset and like shifting into entrepreneurship, getting yourself on social media, personal branding. Fantastic job across the board. How did you find that pivotal moment for yourself after launching that first round of coaching to really differentiate yourself in the market, which is like the fourth or fifth thing that you really have to focus on after bringing a coaching offer to market?
Yeah, it's definitely like that feedback loop and reiterative process of getting feedback, direct and indirect, from your clients, from that continued feedback from your market. And I think something that I found was the feedback comes both, like I said, directly and indirectly. And what I kind of mean by that is it might be direct feedback like, hey, I need more of this. Or it might be indirect where they're expressing a problem or a pain point or a roadblock, but they don't know how to articulate the problem. Do you know what I mean? And so what I started to kind of identify with people I was working with, and really once I kind of identified it with the people I was working with as like in a client relationship, I was seeing it everywhere. And that problem is content strategy, personal brand. Like people were, and many of you watching or rewatching this can probably relate, but where you have no idea what you're doing for content, you're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what will stick. You have no idea what you're trying to convey with your personal brand when you're creating that content. You have no idea about taking people from the attention phase into like a long-term community, like a Facebook group, nurturing those leads, and then getting them to a point where they're ready to make a buying decision. And so all of those kind of factors that go into having success in online business. And I think specifically even with affiliate marketing, and even more specifically with high ticket affiliate marketing, because it is highly competitive, And you need to find a way to differentiate yourself as the affiliate marketer, the person promoting a commodity that all these different people are already promoting. It's like critical to set yourself apart by being different. And the only way that you can or the most meaningful way, I should say, that you can be different from everyone else is developing your own really compelling, effective personal brand that's just authentically you, where you are now, but also what your vision is for where you're going as you grow, And so seeing that need, and then just seeing, it's like when you buy a red Honda, you see red Hondas everywhere. And I just saw the absolute need and now I hear it all the time from people. Like, why does my content not get views? I'm recreating viral videos, but they're just not doing well. Or, like that kind of a thing. Or people saying they're sick and tired of inconsistent sales and they don't know how to move forward because they've gotten to this point of never building their personal brand. And so they've just been kind of chaotically creating content, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. They're sick of that. But anyway, to loop back around to the original question, I think just having gone through multiple iterations of, rounds of coaching, getting that feedback from clients, but also just from people within my Facebook group or from people on TikTok or whatever platform. I think that's all contributed to kind of the need that I identified. And really, I think that's something that I have skills for and is in my wheelhouse. And I really have a passion about it. And so that's kind of how I took that feedback from the market and combined it with, yes, this is something I would want to build and scale, Yeah.
And I really think about thinking about personal brands and building a personal brand. A lot of people they get the misconception of just creating content that's very personal, but they don't really connect the dots of being very personal with the people that they're supposed to be connecting to. Yes, people care about your story. That's how you initially get people into your circle and really build that trust and authority and even likeness on the internet and build your personal brand. But the way to really build a business with your personal brand is getting personal inside of DMs, getting personal on lives, and getting personal on the phone. So you really want to cross that boundary of being just a person on the internet from being a person that could actually help and deliver on a transformation that your clients and audience are looking for. And that's really the importance of building a community, getting yourself out there more than just putting yourself on TikTok, because TikTok will never just build a business. And a lot of people in your community, they know this, all right, I have to put myself out there on TikTok. That's just the first step of being uncomfortable, is getting yourself on video. The next step of discomfort, if you're not comfortable being in front of people, is really going live on Facebook and fostering a community. Then it's getting people on the phone. And I know it's very painful to actually talk to strangers on the phone, but the first few times you're getting on the phone, it's really just getting yourself out there and comfortable with doing it before you're trying to push a sale on somebody. And one of the questions the reason I'm bringing this up is I got a question on TikTok is, other than hashtag and where people hang out, what advice do you have on finding pain points? And the pain points is being personal with people that are actually looking for information that you're looking to deliver. So the best way to do that is get on the phone with people, ask about pain points, and don't go in as a salesman's mentality. Of course you want to make sales, but sales come from trust and authority. So this is another way. I'm talking too much. This is another point that I want to bring up with Barb. Barb, you're so good at nurturing your community and talking to people inside of your community. So tell us more what your strategy is preparing for, you just launched your cohort. If anyone knows, Barb is running a badass boot camp right now. How did you go about launching your cohort and telling people about it, nurturing it, and just launching this low ticket offer?
I think it's like a microcosm of what we do as affiliate marketers or, content creators trying to monetize on whatever platform. And it's you create an interesting piece of content that's relevant for your target audience. And then you include a call to action at the end. Or you know what I mean? It's really that simple. So for me, that looked like going live. I feel like I didn't even really do a ton. I could have done more, but just went live in my Facebook group, talked about personal branding, talked about why it's important. And then kind of introduced what the 4-week live personal brand boot camp was going to entail a little bit, and let people know if they, raise your hand if this is something you'd be interested in. I can send you, more information. And that was really it. I mean, that wasn't really it. Also reaching out to people in DMs and letting them know, hey, I feel like this is something that might be interesting to you. Let me know if you have any interest in it. I can send you the links. You can check out more information. But like what I didn't do was get on TikTok, and I think I made like maybe 5 TikTok videos. So it wasn't a whole lot on TikTok. It was primarily Facebook and direct outreach. But what I didn't do on TikTok was dance around showing my bank statements. I didn't, I wasn't like not speaking to the camera and just pointing like, hey, personal brand boot camp, here are the details, DM me for info. No, I created valuable content. Like I created content about how to identify your avatar and really get clear on who your target audience is, who your avatar is, so you can create compelling messaging that will actually reach that group of folks that you're trying to reach. And then let them know, hey, this is all part of, personal branding. If I have this boot camp, send me a DM, raise your hand, like leave a comment, and I'll let you know about it. But really, it's like, that's just like when you're promoting anything, like being a real human. Like I loved what you said about personal branding is not just telling your story. It's like about being an actual human, like being an actual person. But yeah, really just being an actual human, being an actual person, and having conversations with people. I think there's this idea that, or this hope maybe, that we can just do something and never have to work again, like that kind of passive income. And that does exist in real estate or stocks and ETFs. But when you're building an online business, there's absolutely a human component, and you're having to wear many hats. Like you're the marketer, you're the sales team, you're the secretary, you're the whatever. But I think what I really want to emphasize is like when you're creating valuable content that people are actually wanting to watch, that's entertaining, but also gives information, inspiration, whatever. And then have a strong, clear call to action. Like, if you want this, do this. You know what I mean? And that, like I said, made a handful of videos like that on TikTok, but primarily it was really going into the community, my highly engaged Facebook group, and just reaching out to people and letting them know.
Yeah. And you've launched now many high ticket offers and iterated your coaching process. And that's basically what you're helping people do at this point. You're helping people bring real businesses to market. And that's exactly what we do in our community as well. And that's what many of your clients will be doing, what our clients are doing and stuff like that. And they're, excuse me. And it comes, yeah, we're still coughing out. But a lot of people have that misconception of you launch once. And I was saying this before, and we can really dive into what it takes to prepare for a launch versus what it takes to scale an offer. And like, this is the misconception I feel, especially in the affiliate marketing world, that a lot of people have. It's just like you were describing before, creating content on TikTok, seeing what sticks, and just like maybe building a community on the back end and like fostering that community or nurturing that community. But after a while, you'll see what we call the dip. And if anyone wants to read a great book, read The Dip. It's a fantastic book, or The Slight Edge. And it just talks about, yeah, you'll get a lot of traction. Anyone can launch a product. Anyone can launch an offer. And we're going to talk about what it really takes to launch an offer. But really, it's what it takes to launch an offer and stay consistent with that next offer and next offer, so you can really build a business in an evergreen product. And at the end of the day, that's what most business owners like really want at the end of the day, is like longevity in their business. But so many people fail because they see a dip after maybe a successful launch or maybe a half-ass launch because they don't launch correctly, and then they give up. And that's why a lot of people in the online space fail, is because there's that dip, there's that traction that doesn't take off because the strategy is just not there. So let's rewind a little bit and talk about a fast launch to test the market, and then what you do when we hit a dip. So I think that's like a really good topic for people that are entering the personal branding space as well. So how did you go about? So disclosure, I'm sorry if I'm sharing this so openly, but Barb launched a product in 2 days or an offer in 2 days and landed what, 5 clients off the bat?
Mm-hmm.
And Barb already had a community. Again, she's fantastic at fostering and nurturing a community and building a community, but didn't know that she had to dive into that market so personally. So what did you do that first round of launching a coaching offer? And how many people did you have on your TikTok and your Facebook group?
Oh man. I wish I would have recorded that information somewhere. I don't know. Probably on TikTok, I probably had 50,000 followers, and then Facebook, maybe, I think I had like 2,000 at that point. I think I remember that number. Which, if you're like in retrospect, there are people, just to like, for anyone watching or rewatching this, like there are people that I work with that have 100,000 or 100+ thousand followers on TikTok, and they're my clients. Like followers on TikTok doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
I mean, obviously it can mean something, but it's more the quality of follower than it is the quantity, So, and the same is true for a Facebook group. You can have 10,000 people that are just sitting in there, or you can have 250 people and launch a 10K offer, But so when I had launched this is just kind of like what my process was, like, full disclosure. And again, it goes back to creating valuable content and then having a call to action, and creating valuable content for people who are going to be interested, like for your specific target audience. And so this was back in August of last year, but I kind of, for 3 or 4 days made posts in my Facebook group. And I was like, hey guys, I'm doing a live training on Wednesday and you're not going to want to miss it. I'm also making a huge announcement, and just kind of like did that for 3 or 4 days. I put together a kick-ass training, and I have it on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. It's actually very valuable. It's called, like, Why Am I Not Making Any Sales? And it goes through and breaks down, like, so you start with your content, like your top of funnel content, and then you have your, affiliate funnel, your opt-in lead funnel, and then you get sales down at the bottom. So it's like going like this. And if at some point anything is not congruent, you're going to have a bottleneck. And it was very much about how to figure out where that breakdown was happening. So, is it your content that's no good? Is it your opt-in page, your bridge page, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so I went really in depth with this 1-hour training. And at the end, I said, I basically did like a 5-10 minute, like live video sales letter. And I just described, hey, I'm launching my own coaching program. This is kind of what it's going to entail. And I shared like a PDF flyer, which you may have seen in the group before, and let people know, if you're interested, leave a comment, I'll reach out to you, and we can like chat about the details, see if you're a good fit, basically. And yeah, I can't remember the number of calls that I had ended up booking after that, but the first 5 people I talked to on Zoom were yeses. And yeah, the rest is kind of history, but that was like my experience in like launching that. Yeah.
I love walking back to the process in like August to see how far like you've come in this
It's
process.
crazy.
For anyone watching who doesn't know what a video sales letter is, it's basically just a soft pitch of exactly what you're going to be bringing to market with a hard call to action to let people know, like, and then you explain obviously on a sales call or wherever you're calling people to exactly what the offer truly is. So it's like you're running people through the offer to get people onto the phone or to get people through the door. And Barb, again, fantastic job of doing the process always. But yeah, no. So what did you do for the second round? So the first round was basically just getting people through the door and getting direct feedback from clients. So launching is never just a one size fits all. You launch and then you're running with that one offer. It's going to take a process of reiterating the offer, making sure this is the offer you want to bring to market again, and making sure that you're delivering on that transformation that your clients are actually looking for. So the first round of coaching you did one-on-one, correct? With question and answers, it's like a group coaching program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
And it was that first round was 30 days. And I got so much information, like both again, direct and indirect. I don't know if Trisha's watching this, but shout out to Trisha. She was among the first gals that I worked with, and she's just a fantastic human. But some like direct feedback, well, indirect, for everything that I know or knew that it would take someone who's brand new to affiliate marketing or who's struggling with affiliate marketing, that it was going to be at least like a 60-day program was what I needed to do. And that was kind of the idea, was, have a 30-day to like test the market, get that feedback, and then expand it to 60 days. Also just got like a ton of direct feedback from my coaching clients, like what they needed. I got so much more organized around creating content so that I wasn't having to do the same work over and over every single month. And I think that's where, in that process is like where courses are born, but yeah, just got a ton of feedback and continued to iterate over time. Eventually realized that thought there was more value in just having group calls than having one-on-one, where I was basically just conveying the same information, but like on a one-on-one basis. So eventually moved to strictly, the group aspect. And then, again, coming to a point of realizing that where most people struggle with affiliate marketing, you only have to set up a funnel once. I mean, until you start, getting into other things and promoting other things or coming up with your own products that you want to sell. But you only have to set up that funnel once. You only have to connect it to your email autoresponder once. That stuff is actually not as hard as you might think. What's the thing that causes most people to fail 100% of the time is your content and your personal brand. 100% of the time, I would say. It's never like, oh, I couldn't figure out my funnel and that's why I failed. No, it's not that at all. Like, you could pay somebody on Fiverr $20 to connect all your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you could come in here to the Facebook group and say, hey guys, I'm struggling with this, and get the answers. But where people struggle is building that personal brand. And that's what I kept seeing over and over. And that's very much how, like, what informed the trajectory of where I saw the need and decided to like take my own business.
So this is like a good point to bring up too. So using the market and direct clients as market research. So many people, especially in the creative brand framework community, and Barb, in your group that you're going to be helping people out and you're already helping people out, people are scared to launch an offer because they feel like they're not ready because they don't have enough traction or feedback from the market. The best feedback is 1, community, direct messages, 2, sales calls, 3, helping people for free, delivering on that transformation for free first, but then launching a coaching offer and working not with what you think your audience needs, what you think your clients needs, but working directly one-on-one with people and delivering on exactly what it is that they need. And you should have a framework of like where they want to go, what that transformation that they're looking to obtain while working with you. But 2, like, if they have a specific goal and vision and they're looking to do the things that you've done, for 1, never bring an offer to market that 1, you've never proven, or 2, you haven't helped somebody else go through. Because if you do, you're a scam. You
Flat out.
Too many scams online. We don't want.
I'm saying.
It's like. So that's the first thing that Barb and I could both talk about. Like, we are building businesses, and we have built businesses because we do not want people to scam people, and we will never work with anybody who wants to bring a scam offer to market. Flat out. I think we could agree on that.
Period.
100%. Which is why we should vet our clients always. PS. But your audience members that you're going to be working with, or your clients at this point, are going to tell you exactly what they expect from you. And like, having that onboarding call or that onboarding conversation and that radical transparent approach of, hey, I'm just getting started. I did X to Y to Z. I'm going to help you to do X to Y to Z, but you're my first round of clients. Charge a lower ticket. Don't be greedy. Launch an offer, over deliver on that transformation, gather that market feedback from your one-on-one clients, Do it again, because you're going to have different clients with different needs. See what kind of people you like working with, see who you resonate with, because that's how you're going to build an offer that's scalable. First, do like 5 to 10 clients of one-on-one. What's the outcome you personally like delivering on that you know you can deliver on? Who's the type of clientele that you actually like to work with? Because there are going to be pain in the ass clients, and you have every single right to fire your clients. You shouldn't work with anyone who doesn't, one, resonate with you and you don't resonate with them. 3, is this the offer that you want to be known for? And that's the beauty of a personal brand. You're able to shift and change and morph over time and develop yourself into like who you truly want to be. I am glowing out here.
Magical.
I'm actually a vampire, everyone. But these are the reasons why you should work one-on-one with people, launch and actually deliver on that transformation. Because after you figure out who you want to work with, who you can actually work with, like they want to work with you, you want to work with them, that transformation that you truly want to deliver, and it's going to take reiteration, then you launch a group coaching offer and prove to your market that you can actually deliver on the same transformation with the same strategy that you've been working on and developing to many people at one time. And then after you launch group coaching and you deliver on that transformation, then you think about building a course, then you bring an evergreen product to market, because you've already proven the market, doing it yourself, one-on-one coaching, one-on-one and group coaching, then group coaching, and then evergreen product. And we preach this all the time, but that's the true way to launch an evergreen digital product or course. So what can you add to that, Barb? Because I just went on a rant.
No, I feel like I've been talking this whole time. So yeah, no, something came up for me and I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I totally know. It's like I'm just putting myself into the shoes of anyone who might be watching this and thinking, oh, I could never, or I don't have the confidence, or I don't have the whatever, the skills. That is why affiliate marketing is the perfect stepping stone or the perfect launch point for an online business, and to get your feet wet and to really introduce you to the world of online business. Because for those of you who stick around and you persevere and don't quit, what you will find is you will get to a point, affiliate marketing is all about learning and implementing high income skills. So that's copywriting, email marketing, funnel building, content creation, lead generation, like all this different stuff, community building. But it's all these different kind of individual skills that you put together to learn how to do affiliate marketing successfully. So you're promoting other businesses' products. And that's like such a huge component of online business. What you will find, and mark my words, if you stick around long enough, you will find that you're going to get to the point of looking back and realizing, wow, that's where I started, and look at where I am now. And I always do this, like in every single video, I will always talk about where you start and where you want to get to, and that transformation that you're going to achieve. And you're going to get to a point where you look back and realize, oh my gosh, like I know so much more now than I did when I started. And you're going to have such a confidence boost, and you're going to realize that you have become that authority in your space by virtue of learning these skills and learning from doing. And so you're going to get, I'm telling you, just flat out, you could bet me if you want, you're going to get to a point where you realize that you have more to offer than simply promoting other businesses' products. You have more purpose inside of you, more hunger inside of you than just promoting other businesses' products. I'm not saying that that's not a viable business model or anything like that, but I am saying that you're going to come to a point of realization where you want to bring your own offer to market, period. And when you do get to that point, you're going to, kind of experience some of those same feelings of fear and apprehension. And I don't know if I can do this. Just realize that life and business, online business, is one big succession of fear and apprehension, getting through it, fear and apprehension, getting through it, so on and so forth, and leveling up. And so if you are watching this and thinking, oh, I could never, yes, you absolutely can. You're here. You've already learned something by virtue of being here. And the more you continue to learn and grow and level yourself up, that's going to change the caliber of the caliber of clients or audience that you get to work with. And so going back to what you were saying, Dina, about like realizing who you do and do not resonate with. Like there are people who I would, even if they paid me double, I would be like, no, it's not a good fit, like for sure, you know. But the more you level up yourself, the more valuable you become. Like the higher the quality of people that you get to work with, and you get to be more selective, and you get to charge higher prices. And that's something that you don't have any control over, just if you're promoting someone else's product as an affiliate marketer. So that's just something else that I wanted to throw out there. Is like the more that you grow in that confidence and authority, the more you realize that you have skills and knowledge and something to offer, like a very special point of view, and you have started to like lean into your purpose and what makes you excited, and what type of client makes you excited to work with them. It's going to just like completely open doors and open your mind. And yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone who is watching this or rewatching this and is in that space.
Yeah. I have 3 things that just kept running through my mind. Me and my OCD. You were talking. One thing was compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, Albert Einstein. Fact, especially in business, the more you level up as a human, your perceived value will go up, your income will come up, your business will grow, your clientele will go up. Everything was just going to be start here, compound interest going up. The second thing, do not just do what everyone else is doing. Build a personal brand around things that, one, people already know you for and that you absolutely love. Like if you are building a personal brand online, do not be a copycat of somebody else, because keeping up a persona that is not true to you or true to like what you're passionate about, you're going to die over time. Slowly and soulfully die over time. And you're going to fail flat out. Like you can't build a personal brand around something that doesn't resonate with your soul. And the third thing is, once you make your first dollar online, it will not be unfathomable, I think that's the right word, to make hundreds of thousands of dollars online. And like, that's the thing. It's like, once you break through, okay, maybe $1, $2, once you make that first high ticket sale and you close it and you walk away with like that gut wrenching, like, oh my God, I just collected $1,500, $2,000 on the phone. Anything feels and is possible, but it starts with that first dollar online and getting that first transaction through. So if you are an affiliate marketer that's starting at the bottom, I hate saying starting fresh, brand new, and you're building a personal brand and you're promoting something that's a very low ticket thing because that's what resonates with your niche. I'm going again. Once you get that first transaction, you will realize that it's absolutely possible to do, be, and have anything you want in the online space. And once you like really step over that bound, like there's no going back. So I saw that you were just like this, meaning you had something valuable to say, Barb.
Girl, what was the first thing you were talking about? It was related to that.
Oh, Albert Einstein.
Oh, your personal brand, and having it needs to be authentic to you, and it needs to be your genuine self. And I'm not saying don't strive to be more and be a better version of you. But at the same time, still honor who and what you are at this point. But oh my God, what it took me directly back to was working in investment management and creating this really personal brand, this persona of being this put together adult human that knew exactly what she was doing and had all her stuff right. And 7 years of doing that turned me into a raging drug addict and alcoholic. And you will absolutely ruin your business, but also ruin yourself, kill your soul. Like be your authentic self, but also have the self-awareness to know that you want to grow and go on your upward spiral, your upward trajectory. But that doesn't mean completely making up who you are to the exclusion of where and who you are right now. Like still honor that, and still honor that you have a journey to take. And oh my gosh, I just had to share that. Otherwise I would have exploded. But when you lack congruence between who you are on the inside and who you are on the outside, there's going to be a breakdown that happens, like straight up. And that dissonance will ruin you. So like, just be your authentic self. And if you want to change something about yourself, don't just pretend that you're perfect. Go out and become more confident, Like, you know what I mean? Become more compassionate. Like whatever that looks like for you that you want to achieve, go out and actually achieve it. Don't just pretend, because it will ruin you, and not just in a business sense.
Yeah. And this is actually bringing up a huge point too. So you bring it back to investment management. I'll bring it back to college, because there has just been like a pivotal thing in my mind as well with this. We used to run, so I was economics major. I was like in the economics club, deep in there, kissing ass for everyone. It's just what I did. You won't catch me doing that now. But yeah, no, like we had networking events every single semester. And of course, I helped put them together because I was on the board of econ club. And every single time I had to feel like I had to put myself so together. Like I was going into finance. I wanted to be on Wall Street. And that's where I was. Like I had an internship on Wall Street. And I always dressed the part. And like every day that I had to go to this networking event, I'd literally like put on my button up, put on my, like, I looked really good because like I thought I had to present myself this way. Back to last semester, I got invited to be on the board of Shark Tank for my school. So mind you, I haven't been back to my school for like 3 years. I was just like, I'm done with this place. And like, I didn't go because I was living in Mexico at the time, but I would actually thought about coming back, and I was like, I would literally wear like I'm living in Mexico. I'm on the beach. I'm wearing a bathing suit every day. I was like, I would literally wear jeans and like a nice coat. Like I used to dress to the nines because I felt like I had to put on a show. And you're on the right track in life, in business, with your personal brand as you're showing up online. Because literally I could show up like today I'm dressed nicely because I have to go see my parents. But like, like usually we show up like, Barb, you wear a robe and I'm sitting here. I'm just like, all right, like let's just spit value, because you're comfortable with who you are, where you are, and what you're doing.
Right.
And like if you feel like you have to put on a show to get on TikTok, or you have to put on a show to get on a live, maybe you should take a step back and reevaluate where you are, what you're doing, the message that you're putting out there. Are you externally trying to look confident because you're not confident with the content that you're putting out? And like, I know that was a long-winded rant for that, but like, you should be able to get on camera as your authentic self. And this comes back to like personal brand and just spit value. Like, great example. Look at Gary Vee. If you guys don't know who Gary Vee is, but he just gets on. Right. First things first, that's your first assignment.
Yeah.
Go look him up. But he shows up so authentic. He curses on camera. He has this huge goal of buying the Jets. I don't know why I don't resonate with that goal. It's like you're buying a losing team, but whatever. But like, you know who he is. You know what his message is. You know what he's here for. It's literally just like, do what you're fucking passionate about. Excuse the language, but that's how he says it. 2, show up as your authentic self. And 3, stop trying to fake it till you make it. Just do it. Just be yourself and just go. And like, don't let people stop you. And he's so authentic with how he brings his message. And you either love him or you hate him. And if you are showing up on camera with fear of people hating you, take a step back and realize that you're never going to please everyone. Like, people will love you or they hate you, and it doesn't matter. They're not putting food on your table. They're not putting a roof over your head. And like, if you do try to please everyone, you're going to end up not pleasing yourself.
My mom always used to tell me that growing up, and I'm like, Mom, you're so wise. You know everything about online business and you didn't even realize it. Yeah. And the last thing I want to add is this, in terms of like feeling fear and like pushing through it and just making content anyway, is if you have a long-term, so of course everyone's afraid. Everyone's a little bit apprehensive or nervous. When I made my first TikTok, I was no different. I was sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me. But the difference is I had a vision, right? Like I had a vision for my life and for where I wanted to go. And that vision, like I can see it in my early content. Like I wasn't just like, hey guys, I'm here because I'm trying this like affiliate marketing thing. Maybe it's going to work. I don't know, but I hope you follow me. No, absolutely not. I had a vision for my life. I was going to use online business. I knew this was my ticket out, and I was going to build my online business over time. And that was going to be my ability to quit my 9-to-5 job and to live the life I wanted. And so you can even see it in my early content. You can see that vision that I had. And it was, I am so sick of this life and I'm sick of the 40-hour work week and thinking that's the only way to make a living. And it's not the only way. It's not even the best way. And so if you feel that way too, follow along, because I'm trying to get out of that right now. And that was like the message and the vision from like day one. So have a vision, for your life, and don't just be on here like making content. Like if your driving force behind why you're making content on TikTok is, I'm just trying to make a few bucks, or I'm trying to like roll the dice and see if I can get a high ticket commission, that's not good enough. No. Take a step back and be like, what is the vision I have for my life? It is, and going back to what we were saying earlier, is if you are so scared that you can't even make a freaking TikTok, you're not in enough pain, like period. You're not miserable enough in your life. You're just here as a hobby, trying to make $5 or $10 to make your grocery bill a little bit less each week. So get to a point where reframe the life that you're living and where you want to get to the point where you're like, this is untenable. I can't put up with this. I'm miserable and I'm going to do something about it. When you get to that point and you have that vision for what you want your life to look like, magical things will happen, and the content will just pour out of you because you have that vision.
Facts. Oh, when you mention pain threshold, it's like there is no plan B for anybody. For my clients, for your clients, for anyone, it's just like your pain threshold will never let you fail. And you should not be comfortable sitting where you are. And I'm not going to lie, Barb and I are no one special. Like, I mean, you're special to me, Barb.
Oh, likewise.
But we're not like golden people. We're not chosen people. We just have gone through shit and we don't want to go back to that shit. And like, there is no plan B for where we were. Like, I ain't going back there.
No, ma'am.
Please no. And that's the thing. It's like, when I, like Barb, like going live was so painful in the beginning. Recording and actually doing videos for my, like our back-end self-guided learning and course, like, bruh, it took me like hours to film like 15 minutes of content because I was shaky, I was nervous, and like those pain thresholds of like getting past where you thought you never could, it's so satisfying. And I still watch videos of myself and I'm just like, ugh, like my clients watch this,
like the one you sent me the other day, which wasn't even that bad.
And that was like my first video. So it's like, ugh. But that's how you should feel that way. And the more you look back, if you're not cringing at your first content, or you're not cringing at your content from like 3-4 months ago, you're not growing and developing as a content creator or as an entrepreneur. You should cringe at yourself like a year ago. And I know we're going over time, but we got a story.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'll tell a personal story about personal stuff, right? Like I just fell off the couch. So last October, I was actually thinking about this and talking about this. I look at myself from this January of 2022 to October 2020. I do not recognize who I am as a person. And if I was to tell you where I am now, from October 2020, when I was in a deadbeat relationship, I just closed my life and mindset coaching business. And I was like, what am I going to do now? Like, to now living 5.5 months abroad in 2021, single for over a year, shout out me. And like, a lot of shit has happened from October 2020 to now that you look back and you're just like, would I think that I'm like an entrepreneur that lived in Mexico, and like entrepreneur, yes, but like living in Mexico, building a multi-scaling, like huge business, like hundreds of clients that I've worked with from last year to this point, like it's wild. And if like I said, I'm no one special. Really, I'm not. Let's put that point out there. I'm not special. I just was not scared because my pain threshold was so painful at where I was. And I did not want to be in that position that time next year. So I radically pushed past boundaries and I radically pushed myself outside the comfort zone to the point where I like questionable decision making from an outside perspective. Like I knew where I was going because I had that vision, like have a vision. Barb, you had a vision. You knew you would do anything to get to that place. When your vision is so strong and you really just know who you want to be and what you want to achieve, You have to push past that comfort. Like, I'm not here to motivate or speak for anyone. Just like, know your pain threshold, know what you don't want, know what you do want, and do anything you can in order to get there. And when you look back a year from now, if you look back 6 months from now, you should not be the same person you were. And that's it. I'm just ending on that. I'm just there.
I just want to throw my microphone on the ground because that was just like the ultimate mic drop, and I couldn't have said it better or ended it better myself. Thank you, Nina, for the truth and value bombs. Thank you all for joining and watching / listening. You can catch me and Nina, as well as our special guest, Mike Rama, in Nina's group. I'll drop the link in the chat. But we're going to have a special digital marketer roundtable tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Thank you guys for joining. This was super exciting. And again, this time tomorrow in our Facebook group here, keep an eye out for a pretty big and exciting announcement. Wink, wink. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you guys. And thanks, Barb, for having me.
You're welcome.